In furtherance to Security Watch Africa's nationwide assessment of the Chief of Army Staff COAS, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede's Soldier First mantra, it was the turn of the Northwest region of Nigeria this week. The region presents a unique and compelling perspective. Once heavily burdened by banditry and other forms of insecurity, the region is now witnessing a gradual but steady transformation with the unrelenting efforts of the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army. We commenced the tour of the Northwest region with our arrival in Sokoto, the capital of Sokoto State, which is the location of the headquarters of the 8th Division of the Nigerian Army. Our team was received by the General Officer Commanding GOC, 8th Division and Commander Sector 2, Joint Task Force Operation Fantan Nyama, Major Jai Ibikunle Ajose. Major Jai Ajose spoke on the security situation in his area of responsibility, AOR.
8th Division doubles as Sector 2, Operation Fasanyama, and it covers Katsina State, Kebbi State, Sokoto State, and Zamfara State. The main mission of 8th Division is to secure the northwestern part of Nigeria as it's with regards to those 4 states that I've mentioned. Our major operation is Fasanyama to curtail and reduce the activities of banditry and terrorism to the barest minimum. And so far so good. Daily we make progress. We have destroyed a number of bandit camps. We have neutralized numerous terrorists. We have rescued numerous kidnapped persons that have been adopted. We have also recovered a large number of rustle cattle and recovered weapons and ammunition. And I can say that within our area of responsibility, we're making steady progress. It might seem slow, but it is steady. Areas whereby people could not move freely, now they can go about their daily business. Constant farm patrols are being conducted across the area so that farmers can go to their farms. Yes, do we still have challenges? We do, but every day with the directives, with the guidance from the Chief of Defense Staff and Chief of Army Staff on other service chiefs, we're making progress.
The GOC gave insight into the implementation of the COAS Soldier First concept in his division.
Command philosophy of Chief of Army Staff is to have a well-motivated force. And to do that, you have to start with the people that make up the force. The large percentage of the army is the soldiers. In fact, without soldiers, there cannot be officers. Without soldiers, you have nobody to lead as an officer. Like in a battalion, for example, of over 800 troops, there's only 1 lieutenant colonel you have, and very few officers. But 80% are soldiers. Like you correctly said, the welfare of troops has been top priority in the armed forces for over a long time. But this time around, the Chief of Army Staff has decided to focus his searchlight on the soldier. That way, it has made everybody to come on board that we need to focus on that important aspect, on that important personality, on that important personnel. Now, to make you understand how important a soldier is, take for example a soldier on sentry duty. Of course, you know, everybody cannot be awake 24/7. Everybody cannot be alert. But you need the sentry to be alert so that it can raise an alarm when the enemy comes. Now, if this soldier is not at alert, a whole division, a whole brigade, a whole battalion can be overrun. That is to tell you how important the individual soldier is. And even in our training, you start from the individual skills before you go to the collective skills. So if those individual skills are not enhanced, then you cannot have a team. Now, if you have realized how important the individual soldier is, then what are you doing to show that the soldier is important? And that is what the Chief of Army Staff has come up with his soldier first concept. That individual soldier, that those group of soldiers are very, very important to whatever successes the Nigerian Army is to achieve. So in that line, what do you need to do? If you know the soldier is important, if you know that individual is important, you take care of his health care. You take care of his feeding, you take care of his clothing, you take care of his accommodation, and so on and so forth. And that is what the Chief of Army Staff is driving down to the lowest level, so that we commanders in the field will realize that and will ensure that. You are aware that the ration cash allowance has doubled. So automatically, the soldiers' feeding has improved tremendously. In this division, for example, we developed what we call the base food menu, a pamphlet both in soft and hard copy, to further provide guidance for commanding officers and platoon commanders on the quantity and the quality and the type of food that soldiers should be given. And we have monitoring teams that go around to ensure that this is done. Also, in terms of medical care, a lot of funds are being pumped in from Army headquarters into our hospitals. Like here in 8th Division, we have all our hospitals are stocked with drugs. In fact, you cannot see a soldier going out to say he wants to go and buy drugs. We have them. And even in terms of our wounded in action, they get top priority. From the front lines, they're evacuated down. And I make proud to say that in the division, before we even send them up to 44, 80% of our wounded in action, in partnership with Udut, we operate on them here, free of charge. Also in the division, our soldiers' families, the wives, they give birth free of charge. We ensure that is done, because that is the only way we can key into this soldier first concept. Now, is it only about feeding medicals? No, also the soldiers' training. Because the best welfare you can give a soldier is good training. So apart from what is being done at ab initio training at Army headquarters, also in the division, the DIV training schools and the battle schools have been upgraded to make sure that the soldiers that come into for training, they have first class training in arms training, physical fitness, communications, fieldcraft, and what have you. We do that. We have upgraded those training facilities. You know, part of what we are doing to key into that is we have what we call a staff duty cell and the welfare group. And what is their work? They call on all our wounded in action soldiers across the entire 8th Division and those in 44 and other hospitals on weekly basis to find out how they are doing, how they are receiving treatment, if they have issues with families and what have you. And we have a help desk. The help desk is manned 24/7. All the soldier needs to do is just to flash, and they will call or send a WhatsApp message, and will reply to their messages. Have we reached to the point in which we're supposed to get to? No. We're still far away, but every day we improve. And with the guidance and the tremendous support of the Chief of Army Staff, I think we're getting there. And the soldiers are seeing it. The soldiers know that if anything is going wrong, they can call their commanders, they can call their brigade commanders, they can even call the GOC. My line is open 24/7. This does not affect chain of command in any way, because once they complain, it is still their commander that must go and rectify the fault. And soldiers are more or less like children. You give them what they want, and they give you their very best. And I can say with the soldier first concept, the Nigerian Army is moving in the right direction. Food. there's good food, good healthcare, good training or improved training, and you know that there are other army-level welfare packages like the Ahua housing scheme is there, like the Nawis is improved, is there, like the healthcare insurance scheme is there, and so many other schemes, and the soldiers are aware, even the soldiers loan scheme. So these are things that have tremendously improved the welfare. Also, personal protective gear that has been a challenge for some time. Now every soldier is going to get one. So I think definitely it has improved our performance.
General Ajose thanked the Chief of Army Staff for his leadership, which has helped the division to record successes in the fight against banditry and other forms of crimes.
First of all, we pray for him for good health, for wisdom to continue to steer the army in the right direction, and then we'll keep on thanking him for the tremendous support, for the guidance. Yes, some will say that's why Chief of Army Staff, but it goes beyond that. When the Chief of Army Staff is like a brother, is like a father to you, and anytime you call upon him, anytime there are issues, even before you ask, we'll get. The division has received tremendous support from the Army Headquarters, from the Defense Headquarters, from principal staff officers, and generally even from the local populace of the states in which we're operating. So it's to say a very big thank you and to ask that as Oliver Twist will continue to ask for more.
A visit to 248 Reki Battalion of the Nigerian Army in Ilela, a boundary town between Nigeria and Niger Republic, was an eye-opener as the town once deserted now bubbles with socio-economic activities. The commanding officer of the battalion, Colonel Jacob Bunyan, spoke on the security situation in the area and the impact of the implementation of the Soldier First mantra.
It is literally being implemented here on ground. Everything that we do around here is Soldier First. From the last private soldier we have to the most senior officer that we have on ground, it is Soldier First. We take care of their administrative problems, boost their morale as much as we can, give them a reason to fight this battle. We're fighting for everybody, but once we establish a reason to fight, we are fighting for the country. We are fighting for ourselves. This is what we drum into soldiers, by not just talking, but by doing some of those things with them and making sure we achieve the Chief of Army Staff's mission and vision of that Soldier First. Ration cash allowance, feeding, kitting, we do our best. We might not be 100%. It's a given, but we have done way beyond what people, pessimists expect. Soldier First is Soldier First, and that is what we intend to achieve.
Two soldiers of the battalion, Private Adamu Abdul-Jabbar and Warrant Officer Muhammad Ali, thanked the Chief of Army Staff for the Soldier First concept initiative.
My welfare is okay, my feeling is okay, and the unit is very trying for the past. We don't have any issue. Our feeling is very okay, and mostly our CO is really trying. He's feeding us very well, and he makes sure that the soldiers eat well, sleep well, so that in terms of like any other thing, accommodation, we are really appreciating the call, the CO, that is really trying. But it's always hard because the way they are treating us, mostly when we get to the bush, they used to lead us, they must enter from before we, so they are gingering our morale. We are really appreciating them. They have combative fear from our body, so we are really trying. Most of the commanders, they are making sure that yes, the soldiers have did well, and we are really appreciating to them that they are not, most of our officers, they are not lazy, and they make sure that they show us what to do, and we are really giving them our best. Like the pass, we are really appreciating is giving us pass. Anytime that you apply pass, yeah, the CEO is trying to see that everybody going to see his parents, so that everybody will feel bored and any other thing. So we are really appreciating mostly the CO, the call, the DIF, the boys and everybody. So we are really saying thank you for everything. Service, we thank him for the support that he gives to us. We thank him for everything that he did. He always used to hear our complaint. Whenever we complain of something, he used to hear and boost our morale.
And we thank God for the Chief of Army Staff and the General Officer Commanding 8th Div in terms of our welfare and acting to our problem. Anytime we call on anything, the commander will take care of our problem with immediate effect. By acting to our problem, it boosts our morale. At any call of time, we are ready to enter the bush. We have no any doubt that we know that in any time we call for reinforcement or anything, they will answer us.
The next point of call was Headquarters, Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fantenyama in Gusau, Zamfara State. The Deputy Theatre Commander, Air Vice Marshal Elijah Ibue, spoke to Security Watch Africa's team on behalf of the Theatre Commander, Major Jan Oluyinka Sholeye, on the impact of the Chief of Army Staff Soldier First mantra on the operations of the theatre.
What the Chief of Army Staff is doing in line with the Soldier First mantra from philosophy to support this operation, Fasanyama. He has been very magnanimous in providing guidance and support to the theater. And this he has done through regular visits to the theater. I just gave you a typical example of a visit where he sent a high delegation of officers just to turn in, go and find out what are they doing differently there. I'm happy, very impressed with the results I'm getting from there. So through regular visits and then through provision of resources and logistics for our operations. He has a big war chest that accommodates virtually all our needs. Yes, because it's the main effort too, being that he has a bulk of the troops, participating troops. So most of the things, when we cry to him, he does not hesitate. He just bends backwards to do them. Some of them specifically are the issuance of combat enablers, such as the armored fighting vehicles and Class B vehicles to formations and units in the theater in order to enhance force protection and operational efficiency of the troops. He takes this very seriously. Every Monday, we join the Army Headquarters briefing in the morning up to afternoon. And during the briefings, I can tell you, anywhere we lost a soldier, just one soldier, it pains him. And he goes all out to make sure that the soldiers are protected. And of course, these armored fighting vehicles and Class B vehicles, they offer additional line of protection for the soldier. So we have quite a number of them. After the interview, you can go out, you will see several of them parked here.
The Deputy Theatre Commander thanked the Chief of Army Staff for his leadership style.
Leadership. That is where the Chief of Army Staff's Soldier First mantra comes in. The kind of leadership they will see, that soldiers will be willing to follow you to battle. And I'm talking about this from experience. I've participated in all the operations in Nigeria, from the south to northeast, everywhere as an active pilot. There are soldiers that if they mention the name of somebody that will lead them to war, they are prepared to go. They say, anywhere we will go. So the Chief of Army Staff is that kind of person that builds the mind of the soldier to be able to fight. That is why they enjoy improved meals and all these things that you think they are little. They have a way of enhancing output in the battlefield. Sick medical, we have a brigade medical center here. He made sure that he posted a doctor who can carry out surgeries, even though a young man. And that doctor has saved several soldiers here. By putting the soldier first, the Chief of Army Staff is simply developing in them to build their will to be able to fight. And we are seeing the results.
From the headquarters Fasanyama, the team moved to Headquarters 1 Brigade in Gusau. Speaking on behalf of the brigade commander, the Chief of Staff of the brigade, Lieutenant Colonel Ibrahim Gobir, was full of praise for the Chief of Army Staff.
I really do appreciate, and I want to tell you that the Chief of Army Staff have done enough in the welfare of the troops. More especially, I'm telling you, he has improved the feeding standard of the troops. Not the standard, not even the increasing the fund, but coming out with a correct menu, which is highly dietary, which has protein and other vital ingredients that our body requires to function properly without any health hazard or food poisoning or any food diseases.
To find out the extent of the implementation of the Soldier First concept in the Brigade AOR, we visited Combat Team 7 at Maraba Kiwari. The Combat Team Commander, Major Umar Ahmed, Lieutenant Mohammed Husseini, and Inspector Jonas Obuna spoke on their operations and thanked the Chief of Army Staff.
So far, their morale is very high because of the welfare package for them. They are well fed and they are provided with necessary equipment to carry out their operational mandates. So their morale is very high, as you can see them. Their morale is high. High is morale. High, sir. The raw cash allowance have been increased and improved. It's much better than before, and the troops morale is very high, not like that of before, because there is increment in the allowances. Then also, part of the operation, the troops are carrying out the operations with high morale because the admin has been improved also. Then part of the passes and leave is being given to the troops accordingly.
We also want to appreciate the cooperative of Nigerian Army officers who have been there for us in terms of our welfare, and whenever we ask from them, they always grant to us, more especially our pass. We do normally go our pass just at a due time whenever we apply. In due normal processes, they normally grant it to us.
On successes recorded by the fighting team of 1 Brigade, the Brigade Operations Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Paulinus Nadi, disclosed on how the troops restored a major supply route.
This place is called Maraban Kiwari. Maraban Kiwari is a junction, there is a road joining here to Bibis and to Mohaye forest, where the bandits have their enclave. So they use this place as their crossing point. And most often, this is where they used to disturb motorists. They don't allow them to pass. They lay in wait for the unsuspecting civilian motorists. But since the deployment of troops here, this road has been free, and troops here have been maintaining domination of this road and equally going inside deep the forest to clear any of their camps or enclave around this place. For years now, this place have not experienced any form of attacks on motorists, as troops are always reacting fast based on intelligence. Equally, we have even camera that is monitoring far beyond your eye reach. So immediately they discover there's any movement because they normally move in motorcycle. Troops will move before even they come close to the road and then hit the terrorists.
From Zamfara State, the team moved to Katsina State and was at the headquarters 17th Brigade in Katsina, where the brigade commander, Brigadier General Babatunde Omokpariola, spoke extensively on the Chief of Army Staff Soldier First concept.
Let's say inputs or several sub-pillars to that Soldier First mantra or Soldier First concept. And the first, in my opinion, is the protection of the soldier. His ability to survive in the battlefield. Next will be his ability to operate effectively. Next will be his welfare, his family, in front at the rear, and then reward systems for his activity. The Chief of Army Staff has invested heavily in the procurement of personal protective equipment for our soldiers, and from his vision, he intends to ensure that every single soldier in the Nigerian Army, starting with those in the front line, have personal protective equipment. We are talking about helmets, fragmentation jackets, raincoats, rain boots, things that protect them from the elements and increase their survivability in the front line. And he has issued a lot to us in large quantities, and more are still coming. Second is the feeding of soldiers. The Chief of Army Staff, on the assumption of office a few months after assuming command as Chief of Army Staff this year, directed that the ration cash allowance, which is for feeding of troops, should be doubled. Not just increased, but doubled from the previous rate of last year. So the feeding arrangements for soldiers has improved tremendously. Of course, a well-fed soldier is it has more potential for greater performances in the field. Again, the Chief of Army Staff has invested heavily in the procurement of medical equipment for my brigade, and the improvement in the medical facilities and services. One, for conventional medical provisioning for our soldiers, and secondly, for soldiers that are wounded in battle to get, good access to Medicare. You can go to my medical center, you'll be impressed or you'll be amazed at the nature of equipment that we have and the level of medical expertise that is available to us at the medical center, and all these are on account of the Chief of Army Staff's drive towards the soldier first. Additionally, the Chief of Army Staff has invested heavily in combat enablers. Now, night fighting devices, which helps a soldier to operate better at night and prevents him from being unnecessarily vulnerable at night. Now, I spoke to you about welfare, and I said families. The medical aspects covers both the soldiers and their families, and then salaries and allowances. All salaries and allowances that are accruable to soldiers are paid promptly, and soldiers who have problems with allowances, either because of bank or transactions or this or that, we take them very, very seriously, and we address them quickly so that they don't have problems with their welfare. Again, we give passes. When you stay in the front line for a long time and battle fatigue and all those things setting, you will need time to go and cool off. You will equally need time to go home to address some problems that may have accrued while you're away. And then the Chief of Army Staff ensures that soldiers go on passes regularly so that they can interact with their families, they can take time off from the battlefield and come back refreshed.
The brigade commander disclosed that the Soldier First mantra has helped the brigade in reclaiming previously occupied territories.
We had 9 local government areas that were under bandit control when I took over. And within the past 1 year, we have liberated so many of them and ended banditry activity in those places. Those are the derivables, the successes that we've achieved on account of the Chief of Army Staff's support. Our equipment have been repaired and we have been issued new ones, better ones. So we'll be equipped in so many ways, and all those things translate to better performance in the field. Of course, a well-equipped soldier is somebody that's ready to fight, and here we're a fighting brigade, so just point us in the right direction.
He thanked Jan Oluyede for providing guidance and leadership.
Soldiers are very, very happy, and I won't say triumphant, but I'm glad about the Chief of Army Staff's intervention. While here, the Chief of Army Staff has visited my brigade officially on 3 occasions, and within that short period of time. You can imagine how lucky I am. And on each time he comes, or whenever he comes around, he always ensures that, you know, he solves whatever pending problems are on ground, and he equally addresses the troops and reminds them of his interest in their welfare. And he will always say, ask questions, and any question or any observation that is raised by any soldier is immediately addressed. So the soldiers are happy. We, the officers, are happy. I, as a commander, am happy.
Security Watch Africa's team, in order to verify reclaimed territories, visited Kurfi local government. From the town, the team was at the Forward Operating Base FOB in Kurfi, where the team met 17th Brigade Garrison Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Mohammed Hamadiko, who is on supervision visit to the base, and he spoke on the implementation of the COAS Soldier First mantra.
We have some issues which we handle here, like banditry, kidnapping, and other minor communal conflicts between our communities, which at the same time we try to control all these issues. However, our soldiers, we administer them the way it should be. We give them passes and leave. When it's time for us to do that, we allow them to apply, even when the security situation is tense. Whenever they have serious family problem, we look into it and we allow them to go on passes. Regarding their feeding, we feed them 3 times a day, of which we give them breakfast, we give them lunch and dinner. With the recent increment of the condiments to 90,000 naira, which is 3,000 naira per day, we feed them adequately.
Officer commanding FOB Kurfi and 2 soldiers in the base bared their minds on the impact of the Chief of Army Staff initiatives on their morale.
The FOB Kurfi was established early this year. Before the establishment of the FOB, we have a command secondary school which is collocated to the FOB. Prior to the establishment of the FOB, we have soldiers that are providing security for the school. However, with the establishment of the FOB, the troops now, their task is beyond only guiding the school. However, their tasks now have exceeded providing security for the Kurfi local government and its environment. Since establishment of the FOB have a remarkable achievements and successes recorded based on the morale of the soldier. And one of the reasons is because the Chief of Army Staff recently have increased, rather double the ration cash allowance from 1,500 to 3,000 naira. So evidence, even the soldiers now, you can testify from them that the feeding, both the quality and the quantity have increased. Now the soldiers can feed with, let me say, the balanced diet is now balanced, because all soldiers, they can now feed their meals with fish, egg sauce, meat, and even chicken, with fruits at all times.
Since the increment of the RCA, the feeding has drastically changed to a different story. We eat varieties of foods. Breakfast is not stable. We change breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like in the morning, we take pap and beans. In the afternoon, we take semo and vegetable soup. And while in the evening, we either eat fried rice and chicken. There's no meal we eat without beef or fish. And we want to use the opportunity to thank the CDS, the Chief of Army Staff, for his kind effort, even in visiting us. Even while he visits us, he credits the FOB for our excellent performance.
We are being fed here twice in a day. We have 3 square meals. No food we eat here without beef or any meat. we eat as due time. I want to use this opportunity to thank the COAS for his unrelenting effort towards this general area. He has been supportive when it comes to some condiments. He gave us what we needed, and I want to use the opportunity to thank our OCA. During pass, we do go our pass when due. When due, every soldier go to pass, every soldier go for courses. When you apply for courses, you do also approve. I want to appreciate the COAS for what he has done for us.
Transversing the state in the northwest region of Nigeria, it is easy to see a people who desire to live in peace and safety for them to carry out their socio-economic activities without the fear from banditry, kidnappings, and other forms of violent criminalities. And this is what the Nigerian Army officers and soldiers are poised to provide with the guidance and commitment leadership of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatunboso Oluyede. Elizabeth Thanko reporting.